Are you ready? Are you ready for a news time? Yes, I am. Hi, I'm Jules, and this is Phil, and this is your Saturday morning.
How we start videos.
That was good. I enjoyed that. And this is your Saturday morning wrestling news. Hope that you are having a fantastic weekend because it's about to get better. Because Phil and I are together, and it can mean only one thing. It is time to hit that jingle.
Stop it.
I get weak every time you tell me no. But we might as well carry on anyway. And let's talk about the thing that everyone is talking about. Cucking. Everyone, the whole internet can't stop talking about it because
I can't.
If you've been watching Raw for the last month and a half now, you will be aware that there is a certain storyline that's been going on which is just setting the world ablaze with not positive comments, and that is between Lana, Bobby Lashley and Rusev and the cucking that is going on between them. But if you are praying for a merciful end to this storyline, then I have a sliver of good news for you, my friends, because apparently next week's Raw is going to have a segment where they finalise the divorce.
Where's the good news?
They're finalising the divorce so we can move on from it.
I see.
That is good news. But then you have to ask yourself these two very, very pertinent questions. A, why would you ever want to go through a divorce live on TV? Yeah. I know that this is a hyper-fantasized storyline for some people, Vince McMahon, but it is just not something that I find pleasurable watching people's dirty laundry literally getting strewn across the thing. It's just like, how is this entertaining? It's horrible. But also B, do you really think that we're going to see the end of this storyline on a free show?
Not at all.
Not at all! So that means get settled in, because it's warm yourself by the hot mess that is this fire, because it's
divorce contract on a pole match at TLC,
do
you reckon?
But they've already blown their cucking load when it was the King's Divorce Court thing. That should have been the natural payoff ending for it. Or just a fight. It's just going to be another schmoz, it's going to be another mess, and we're going to trundle this forward into the new year. At the end of the year, you're always scraping the barrel for stuff, and Vince has just been licking the honey pot. He's just been putting his hands in there like Winnie the Bloody Pooh.
He loves a good cucking, doesn't he?
He does.
He loves it.
But he's been doing another one, so when this one ends, he can roll straight into it.
Oh, he's got all the cucks in the world.
Because it's Drake Maverick and Dana Brooke at the moment. It's the next one.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them.
Then the Drifter Elias is...
Yeah, and they've I guess they could go back to Maria Kanellis at some point.
Oh God, I forgot how bad that was as well. So yeah, in short, Vince loves
He's not
cucking.
made Stephanie cuck Triple H yet. That's one for the future.
Because Triple H has always got to go over, that's why.
That's true.
Because it would just be like, do you not remember there was that infamous storyline with him and Kurt Angle? And he said like, Stephanie would never find you attractive. I mean, look at me. Look at my beef. Bruh. That's apparently the 90s stuff.
But then there was the Triple H and Trish Stratus stuff as well.
What was that?
When he was teaching her an arm lock and he had her bent over. Was that with Tess?
But Vince also likes that happening to himself, because you were telling me that he had
make
Eric Bischoff
kiss his daughter and his wife. He's a weird guy.
So in short, that should be coming to an end, but it won't. So yeah, that's a little bit of news for you then.
Something to look forward to next week on Raw. But speaking of things to look forward to, let's move on away from the cooking.
So we're done with that now. We're off from that mess. Do you like dog food?
I'm doing my thing first.
Oh, we're doing that for okay, fine. You do your thing. But do you like dog food?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
That's fine.
NXT Superstar has reversed his decision to try and twit the company.
Yes.
He is good on Twitter. That's why I've got twits in my mind.
Yes.
To quit the company. Only Larkin is coming back. He has tweeted, and I will quote this. I am pleased to announce that I have agreed a new multi-year contract agreement with World Wrestling Entertainment. May the wrestling gods have mercy on your souls. I love Only Larkin on Twitter.
I wasn't ready for that.
As you might have known, back on November 16th, he tweeted out that he had asked for his release in October. That was kind of the last we'd heard about it. He changed his name back to Biff Busick on Twitter. That's what he was using on the indie scene. He was selling Biff Busick t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. Anyway, it seems like he's signed a new multi-year deal with WWE. Looks like he'll be back on NXT TV. With no idea where it's going forward or what a sort of renewed deal might look like for him, because obviously he had some issues with the company, but I guess they have been resolved. He's not changed his name back to
Yeah.
Only Lorcan on Twitter yet. He's still Biff Music, so we'll see what happens, I guess. But good news, because he's amazing on Twitter, and I kind of want to keep him around.
We
He's
say
good.
that he's amazing on Twitter, but I was trying to look at his account from the WWE WhatCulture one, and he's blocked us.
Yeah, we found out this morning that Only Lorcan has blocked WhatCulture WWE on Twitter. And we have no idea why,
and we've
because
never
we all
said-
bloody love him.
Yeah, we've never
here.
said anything negative about it. But this is the thing, like working for a company like this, you find that a lot of weird people have blocked you.
Yeah,
like,
Ryback blocked us, CM Punk's blocked us,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Shawn Michaels blocked us.
Yeah, we can kind of see that one.
Yeah.
Because
Who else
we
blocked
do
us?
constantly say that he was in
Ryback
backstage.
really didn't like us.
Yeah, Ryback didn't like us at all.
But I don't know why Only Lorcan's blocked us. That makes me sad.
Someone said that Kraft Cheese has blocked us as well.
course.
like literally the weirdest people have blocked us because
Yeah.
they've got strange associations.
If anyone
with
can
certain
find out why Only Lorcan blocked us on Twitter, please let us know.
Yes.
Because we have no idea, and it makes us sad because we love him. He's great.
But yeah, well there we go. Speaking of things that are great, do you like dog food?
Oh God, no. I don't like dog food. I don't want to see it on my wrestling pants.
Well, unfortunately, as you know from last night's SmackDown, the dog food incident is carrying on with King Corbin and Roman Reigns. The big dog got fed a huge slice of humble pie in his pants by
Yeah.
being strapped up.
Baron Corbin promised he was going to humiliate him, and they had a match. Him and
He humiliates
Roman Reigns
him?
and Dolph Ziggler had like a 20-minute match at the end of SmackDown. Roman Reigns beat Dolph Ziggler, and then Baron Corbin's people, the people who carry his throne to the ring, decided to attack, and then they handcuffed Roman to the ring post,
Yep.
beat him up a bit, and just poured dog food over his head.
And this is the thing, he's already humiliating Roman Reigns by being in a bloody program with him for this long.
This is true.
It
and
is-
the whole woof woof, woof woof, woof woof, woof woof,
This, I told you, was going to come
Woof, woof.
between us.
woof woof,
Are you done?
woof woof,
I'm going to carry on now.
woof woof, woof woof.
Right.
Get one of those dog suits.
Oh, okay, cool, we're carrying on.
Do you think?
Nope.
With a little Roman pad?
We're talking about TLC because it's, you know, for a while everyone was saying what the hell is the matchup going to be on this,
they
because
haven't announced anything.
you were looking on the actual website and it was just like you
It was
click on
still
it and
saying
there was
2018
nothing.
stuff.
It was like there was nothing on it. So, but finally we have some announcements moving forward as to what the TLC pay-per-view is going to include. And the big one that everyone's talking about is
big dog.
the big dog, which is going to be Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin
In a woof woof match. See who can woof the loudest.
It's a TLC match, but
Should be Kennel from Hell.
it's equally as painful as that. But this
Equally. I don't know if it's equally.
But this is the interesting thing: is that this was the one of the matches that the arena itself was advertising, which is lending a bit more credence to the other matches that were advertised. But take this with a hefty dose of salt, because you never know.
Yeah,
It's
cards subject to change. and all
Subject
that.
to change, yes. But we're going to have Rusev versus Bobby Lashley in a singles match, and the first ever, according to the arena, TLC Tag Team Women's match with Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch challenging Asuka and Kairi Sane for their titles.
Weird one, that. I mean, it's going to be a great match. How
It
can
will be
not
amazing.
But like after last year's TLC with Asuka, Charlotte, Becky, like amazing main event. Slight downturn.
Yeah, maybe. I can't really see. I don't know. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to have the same immediate grab as this. But
Yeah.
if it's a tag team TLC match, then
I mean, the amount of talent in that is fantastic. Just seeing Kairi Sane do the elbow off a ladder, I'm going to be happy with that.
do you think it's because the words tag team and TLC, when they're put together, only conjure up images of the Hardy Boys, Edge, and the Dudley Boys? So our
Probably,
mind
yeah.
immediately just goes, it's probably not going to be that.
Yeah,
but
it's
still
going to be really good fun.
But
I think.
still, and you know, I mean, after that. You know, even though the card is, building up steam, there are some more reports, thanks to the Wrestling Observer, which could see it more swollen than Vince's member after watching the cuckold storylines, because we might also be getting Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy, the OC versus the Viking Raiders, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus the New Day.
We're not getting that one. We're definitely not getting that one.
That's just what they
stupid
said.
Meltzer.
I know.
Stupid.
Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, so it'd be nice to see if Randy's actually picked which target he's going to go for next. Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And then Kevin Owens versus
weird.
Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that one makes sense.
That makes sense,
Yeah.
that one there. But I hear you crying out. I'll address it. But what about the main event? I'm getting to it.
Well, let me get to the bit that Meltzer was incredibly wrong on
Okay,
first.
fine. You do that. Then.
On SmackDown, there was a fatal 4-way tag team match to declare the #1 contenders to go up against the New Day SmackDown Tag Team Champions at TLC. It was the Lucha House Party versus the Heavy Machinery versus the Revival versus Shorty G and Ali.
There we go.
Whooping? Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, it got down to the Revival versus Shorty G and Ali at the end, and the Revival won. And it's going to be, yet again, for probably the 50 millionth time, the Revival versus the New Day. But
they're great.
Slight twist. Obviously, it's going to be great because they are always fantastic when they're in the ring together. It doesn't matter how many times we've seen it. But at the end of the match, Revival cut a promo that was very, very reminiscent of their characters back in NXT. Back when it was the sort of Revival versus American Alpha and against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, DIY. Where they were just talking about getting back to the roots, back to what brought them to the dance, back to just doing very, very good old school tag team wrestling. And it was just the way they delivered it and everything that they spoke about in the promo was very, very reminiscent of who they were and what they were back then and what they represented. And hopefully, if this is a return to force from the Revival, I am very, very much on board with this.
Well, ever since they went up to the main roster, the whole thing of like no gimmicks, just fists thing, that kind of was waning away because it became a gimmick that they would come out and say that thing. But
and
to
hear
them just be like, look.
thing.
So
it all went very much downhill.
But I'm more than happy to see them actually go back to their roots because that'd be brilliant.
Anyway, carry on.
But still, the main event.
Yeah.
That's going to be that's the big question as to what that is going to be. A lot of people have been speculating that it's going to have something to do with The Fiend. But thanks to the events of last night's SmackDown, there might be a bit of a shake-up to the card because originally it was going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend. That's where everything was leading.
Everyone just assumed it was going to be.
But then Daniel Bryan didn't show up on SmackDown. And instead, The Miz took his place in terms of the beat stick for the night.
Yeah, it was a bit weird. The Miz came out on Miz TV and he said he was going to get to the bottom of where Daniel Bryan is because no one had heard from him for the past week because he's obviously in hell. I mean, that's what's under the ring.
Yeah.
He's in hell, trying to figure out what to do with his hair. But then they couldn't find him, and then Bray Wyatt appeared on the Firefly Funhouse and wanted The Miz to come and play with him. Miz wasn't having any of it, but he said he knew someone who we would be able to play with, and then he had a little picture of Miz's family.
Which, as we know, it's the trigger point for everyone. If you're a dart, it's just like, you do not bring my family into this. I'm going to sort this out. And then when he went backstage to try and be like, right, I'm going home. I'm going to phone the missus. Right, I'll be home soon on a flight, whatever. Yeah. As he's walking back, he sees like a red light in a stage side room.
And like you do when you see a random red light down an alleyway, you're like, I need to go see what that is.
He was like a little optional side quest there. And he got in there and he saw a picture of his family, but Bray Wyatt had been superimposed in his position, and it was as creepy as you would have thought.
Of course.
And then as he's looking at it, boom, out comes, drumroll please, not The Fiend, but actually Bray Wyatt.
Indeed, for the first time, Bray Wyatt, the character, attacking people.
Administers a Sister Abigail onto The Miz and leaves him out cold. It looked pretty snug, I have to admit, from the angle he had, so I hope he is actually all right. And then he rested the picture of the family onto it and just said, like, happy holidays, pretty much. I'm off. Then he started singing. We got to see his tramp stamp, which I am now officially dubbing as the swamp stamp because he's a swampy boy. So that's just for you.
Excellent. Weird one. And then later on in the show, they announced that it is going to be Bray Wyatt versus The Miz at TLC.
Now, this is an interesting one because I actually think this is a good move.
I do as well, yeah.
Because this probably means that Bray Wyatt's going to lose.
I don't know.
You can't have The Fiend
can't even lose to The Miz as his first.
Well, this is because I think that it's great that they're finally separating the two characters because it might be like. As Finn Balor once said, he didn't want to constantly put on the demon makeup because he said that it was an over-reliance on that as the character. Yeah. Plus, apparently, according to backstage rumors and stuff like that, people were sandbagging it because they were just saying like, well, why the hell would makeup make you more powerful? But this at least allows him to separate and go like, no, I'm still a legitimate wrestler on my own, and I don't need to rely on this gimmick when it inevitably changes.
Yeah, and maybe save the Fiend for the big championship matches or something like that. But it's like
it gives it more importance by just saying like, look,
and makes it more special as well at the same time.
Yes.
And maybe not everyone just getting really bored of the red lights and the same old Fiend match.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now they can throw in a Bray Wyatt match as well, and it can be something completely different.
Well, people were getting really annoyed at the red lights. People were like watching it live, were saying they couldn't bloody see anything.
Yeah, Hamlet was there at Survivor Series and said it's absolutely awful to watch live.
So maybe this is just to help our eyes and just basically show one match that goes on.
I'd be interested to see the entrance. I'd be interested to see how he wrestles, the sort of style that he wrestles in.
Yeah, if it's any different, if it's less aggressive, or maybe he'll even bring some of the mannerisms of the sort of like Mr. Rogers style stuff that he's going in, like maybe he'll be like, ha ha ha, rather than it being like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, whether it ends in maybe a DQ if Daniel Bryan comes out and attacks him or something like that.
That could be good. I mean, there's also the big pop that you could have from a scene where he disappears under the ring and comes out
back
as the
as the
Fiend.
Fiend,
There's lots of things you could do
There's
with
loads.
this.
Yeah, they've definitely made me more interested in this just by the fact of saying it's Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend. Definitely makes me more interested.
I tell you what, I really hope, because obviously we've got the skin lantern.
Yeah.
It would be quite nice if he came out with a Fiend lantern. So it's kind of like whatever one he's not using, he's got props that represent the other. That could be good.
Interesting.
This is the thing, again, they've managed to make me a little bit more excited about this angle because of the fact they're not just sitting on the same formula.
Yeah.
I mean, they drove him into the ground last week with him being a shill merchandise machine for like how many t-shirts you could get out in one
and the
segment.
whole Seth Rollins thing did not do many favors for the Fiend.
But this was a horror story again. This is exactly what he should be doing. So I'm very excited.
I like it a lot.
But we will be talking about this and much more to do with SmackDown in our SmackDown review, retrospective, whatever we call this. Review, there it is. I never know if it's got a weird, funny name
Just
on the
a
end.
review.
I don't know, sometimes we brand it in weird ways. But there we go, yeah, so come and join us on the podcast, which will be up live later today.
Indeed.
For all of your other information to do with wrestling, stay tuned here for WhatCulture, WWE / whatever we call ourselves
And
now.
go watch Ups and Downs at 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. PAGMT.
Indeed, and if you want to follow us personally, you can do so at RetroJ0 for myself and...
At Fill My Chambers.
You are damn right you can. Hope you have a fantastic day, whatever you're getting up to, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye!
Bye!